The word Khatam is also a reflection which says Khatim instead of Khatam. This was mentioned last night. So that was one reason for giving the fancy this direction, that perhaps it means the last. The second reason was, in fact, it was not Khatam itself, but the traditions of the Holy Prophet which said La Nabiyya Ba'di. And there are many versions of such traditions. The Arabs have their main support from those traditions and give it a meaning closer to the meaning they understand from La Nabiyya Ba'di. So that is the main reason why it happened. And the third is given by the Holy Quran itself. The Holy Quran does not say that the concept of Khatam al-Nubiyyin, or there being the last, a prophet to be the last, is a new concept. The Holy Quran points out that it is a psychological phenomena which has always been present in the history of religion. So the Holy Quran mentions it twice as a psychological process for the denial of prophethood. And the Holy Quran warns the people that it happened before, that you invented this idea that after a certain prophet there will never appear another prophet. So we warn you that this is the wrong view, this is an erroneous view invented by you, Allah never said it. So the two places where it is mentioned are one Surah Yusuf. Now I think it's some other surah, but the reference to Surah Hazrat Yusuf, it is mentioned. That when Hazrat Yusuf came, to begin with you opposed him, rejected him, and denounced him. I mean the word reject I don't remember, but this is the essence. But when he passed away, you were the same people who started saying that there will never be a prophet raised after him. So why was this mentioned? Just to tell the Muslims that this is not something of a new phenomena which has happened. This is a phenomena of distortion of human psyche. They want some excuse for denial of the prophet and say they invent this, that of all right we have accepted at last with some difficulty. This one, but no more please. That is the human psychology which has been mentioned. And in the second instance, it is mentioned in Surah Jinn, and that too in a very interesting manner. Surah Jinn tells us now about Surah Yusuf, not Surah Yusuf, about this reference to Hazrat Yusuf. The Maulvis of today could take this stance that it was only a historical reference after the appearance of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There was no need for further reference to this, because this time now a final prophet in time had actually come. So that reminder with reference to Hazrat Yusuf was to the earlier people, preparing them for the coming of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But why the same thing should have repeated as a reminder after Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam had come? So now I am referring to the second part, which appears in Surah Jinn. Surah Jinn tells us that a delegation from among the jinn, and historically it can be proved that they were a people from Yemen, from a mountain area of a very hardy nature and a rebellious type of people, who had heard of Islam and sent their emissaries to Hazrat Rasul Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam for discussion. So Hazrat Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam took the best part of a day or a bit more. In fact they stayed the night over in the vicinity of Mecca. Medina. Was it Medina or Mecca? Makkah, in the vicinity of Mecca. and they had quite lengthy discussions. And ultimately, they got initiated and accepted the hand of Hazrat in that. Hazrat accepted their hand in that. So, when they were returning, the Holy Quran narrates the story of what they talked in between themselves. And the Holy Quran tells us that among other things, they were in a very interesting mood, going back and talking to each other. And they were saying that look here how stupid our elders were. They used to do this, they used to do this, they used to say this, they used to believe in this. And this is the general talk, that with the grace of Allah we have come out of that darkness and now we no longer believe in all this hotchpotch. This is the narration which is carried to us by the Holy Quran. And one of those sentences is this, that how stupid our elders were, that they used to believe that Allah will never send another prophet again. So that shows that this reminder was made to those who accepted back of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. For what purpose? For the same purpose that to give this message to Ummah, that till the time of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, this concept was considered to be a stupid concept. And the Holy Quran mentions it as a stupid concept. And suddenly it becomes the most acceptable concept to you, the most highly respectable concept to you. Why this somersault? And why this shift, fundamental shift from the time of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? So when they say this was a stupid thing of our elders to believe that Allah would never send a prophet again, that was held valid, that argument, at the time of Huzur. Otherwise the Holy Quran shouldn't have recorded it. So a valid argument against this concept is rejected by the very Ummah who was warned about it.